Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to Media Pulse, the show where we help you make sense of Thai politics.
This week we'll start with the story about the sudden rise to prominence of a small political party, which was until recently just a little known party. We are talking about Kla Tham Party, which is a junior partner in the coalition government of Prime Minister Pheu Thai. And the party has been stealing all the headlines in the past 1 week. But we are quite certain that the name Kla Tham Party, which means moral courage in English, doesn't really ring the bell to most people. But like it or not, the party is now on its way to become a major political magnet.
Yes, early this week, an MP of the People's Party for Chonburi Province caused a small political stir by announcing his breakup with his party and is planning to join Kla Tham Party, which is a junior partner in the coalition government of Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra. Now, what drove him to make the decision is unclear. He claimed during a press conference that he could not get along with the party leadership but did not elaborate. But what is clear is that Kla Tham is welcoming him with open arms, as it would with those who claim lining up to join it.
If we are to believe what the leader of Kla Tham Party, Kun Naramon Pinyosinwat, says, at least 10 MPs of various parties are now in the process of defecting to the party. Kun Naramon, who is now currently the agriculture minister, didn't provide any names, but claimed that these potential defectors have been in talks with her party. So now you can see how popular the party is now.
Yeah, as she spoke, 2 veteran politicians of Thai, a small opposition party, said that they were defecting to join Kla Tham Party. Now, one of them is a well-known former cabinet member, Anudit Nakornthap, and the other, a former prominent Bangkok MP, Deputy Commerce Minister Suchat Chomklin. He said is also rumored to be contemplating to defect from the United Thai Nation Party, a partner in the coalition, to Kla Tham. Naramon, however, said that they had not discussed the matter.
And Kun Naramon was quick to add that her party welcomes anyone from any party who shares its political ideology, regardless of party affiliation. But of course, the obvious question is why Kla Tham Party has suddenly turned into such a political magnet. And most Thai media outlets were quick to lend weight to the speculation that financial incentives are the main motivation driving the defections. Kun Naramon, the Kla Tham Party leader, had to come out to dismiss an allegation that her party had offered as much as 55 million baht, along with a monthly salary as an incentive for a disgruntled MP of the People's Party to defect to Kla Tham.
That's a lot of money. 55 times 10 potential defectors, 550 million baht to start with. That's a big investment.
Definitely.
Political observers, however, believe that when talking about politicians or MPs switching camps, financial incentives cannot be ruled out. Now, Kla Tham currently has 26 MPs in the House of Representatives. The majority of them belong to a faction led by Thamanat Phomphao, an influential power broker who now serves as the party's chief advisor.
Of course, when we talk about Kla Tham Party, the spotlight must be on Kun Thamanat, who is known as the supreme patriarch of the young political party. Thamanat is known for his political connections and acumen. He is also known as a politician whose loyalty lies with whoever serves his interests. And as we all know that he was once closely aligned with General Pravit Wongsuwan, a former military strongman, when the latter was leader of Palang Pracharat Party, the political vehicle of the military coup makers led by former Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha. But after former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra returned from his self-imposed exile in 2023, Thamanat renewed ties with his former political acquaintance. Their political connection dates back to the days of Thai Party, which was led by Thaksin when he was prime minister before the party was dissolved. So there was a history of their
Long
relationship
history.
here.
Thamarat broke away from Palang Pracharat with a group of 20 MPs to join Kla Tham Party last December. The fact that Thamarat was able to persuade the Prime Minister and her father, Thaksin, to let his Kla Tham Party have complete control of the Agriculture Ministry was a good testament of his political influence.
The Agriculture Ministry is very important because it is regarded as a highly coveted portfolio due to its substantial annual budget and its direct connection to grassroots communities, which constitute a significant electoral base. And even though Thamarat holds no formal position in the Paetongtarn government, he is known as a major power broker with a strong appeal among rural constituencies with his tough guy image.
Yeah, we're talking about this guy who's a 60-year-old political heavyweight, and he has certainly come a long way from his days as a shadowy figure entangled in many scandals. While serving as Deputy Agriculture Minister in the Prayut government in 2020, his involvement in a drug smuggling case in Australia over 20 years earlier came back to haunt him as well.
Yeah, it was quite a drama when he was brutally grilled in a no-confidence debate in connection with his prison term on drug charges in New South Wales in 1994. But in the end, he managed to survive the no-confidence vote. And a year later, opposition MPs tried unsuccessfully to have the Constitutional Court declare him unfit for office. He was then serving as Deputy Agriculture Minister. The court at the time said it did not recognize Kun Thamarat's conviction in a drug case in Australia because the verdict was delivered in a foreign country. In short, the court was saying that his conviction in Australia was outside its jurisdiction.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with us. Anyway, Thamarat has been denying any involvement in the drug smuggling case. Australian media at the time reported that his conviction was the result of a plea bargain. Now, the scandal failed to stop Thamarat's political rise, which saw him appointed Agriculture Minister in the short-lived Sethar government. He was dropped from the subsequent Paetongtarn coalition last year in exchange for his political proteges to take over the Agriculture Ministry.
Thamarat has been very much in the news in recent weeks.
Yeah.
And when discussing the future of his party, Kun Thamarat has never concealed his ambition. The former army captain said he expects Kla Tham Party to rival political heavyweights such as Pheu Thai, Bhumjaithai and the People's Party in the next general election, particularly in terms of winning House seats. And no surprise in that there have been talks within the Kla Tham Party that the party hopes to get as many as 50 to 60 seats in the next general elections scheduled for 2027. Very ambitious.
I know, very ambitious plan. The recent by-election in the southern province of Nakhon Si Thammarat saw Kla Tham Party rise to a new political height though, when its candidate easily beat his rival from the Democrat and Bhumjaithai parties in their own political backyard. And buoyed by his party's successful election debut in the south, Thamarat declared that it represented the first step of his party's inroad to the region. He now has his eye on the constituencies in all of the 14 southern provinces for the next general election.
Now, as we all know, the South has always been a traditional stronghold of the Democrat Party, the country's oldest party. But Bhumjaithai and the People's Parties have been making a steady inroad into the region. But Kun Thamarat is confident that his Kla Tham Party will pose a strong challenge to the incumbents in the next general elections. And political analysts see a formidable alliance between Kla Tham and Pheu Thai parties in the next general elections. Kla Tham will be assigned with the job of venturing into constituencies not accessible to Pheu Thai, especially those in the south. So you can see the combination of the two parties, right?
Makes sense to be together for them. But political analysts believe that association is definitely not set in stone. Thamarat is a shrewd politician who has thrive on political expediency. His goal is to position himself as a kingmaker, meaning that while his Kla Tham Party may not need to have a significant large number of MPs, it will consistently hold a strategic position to negotiate power sharing arrangements.
So besides all the political waves that the party has been making in the past few weeks, what does Kla Tham stand for in terms of political ideology? And Kun Thamarat has this to say in answering the question. He said, Kla Tham is a new party with new idea and action plan. Our stand is clear. We work for the people, the nation, the religion, and the monarchy.
So boring.
well, if that's not exciting enough, listen to how he described himself.
Okay.
He said, people come to me because they see me as a man with guts and is dependable.
Right. In Thai, it's ใจถึงพึ่งได้ isn't it? So it means you show your guts in the face of difficulties, and then if people come to you for help, especially those who vote for you, you must do everything to help them.
So Kun Thamarat is simply saying that he has the characteristic required of politicians who want to win the hearts and minds of the masses. Be seen as a tough guy with guts. And
brave and dependable.
Yeah, very dependable. Always be ready to offer helping hands.
Now moving on to another political drama of the week. This one requires a lot of background and information to demonstrate the point. Now remember, around this time last year, Thailand went through the process of electing a new set of 200 senators to replace those whose term expired. Now, the election process was dubbed one of the most complicated in the world because they were selected through 6 rounds of voting among themselves. We didn't get to vote. No. Now, fast forward to today, that election process is still haunting us, or at least the remnants of that process. Many senators are being accused of abusing the system to gain their seats in parliament. Actually, as many as 55 or over 1/4 out of 200 senators are being investigated by the Department of Special Investigation, or DSI.
I'm sure you might be wondering why DSI.
Yeah.
Usually, investigations on election cases would be under the authority of the Election Commission, right? The answer lies in the nature of the allegations. And to make things as simple as possible, we are going to highlight 2 serious criminal offense allegations by the DSI. They are money laundering and criminal association. These are very serious charges against senators, right?
Yeah.
Because aren't senators supposed to be model citizens, right? So why are they being accused of gaining their senatorial seats through criminal means?
Let us emphasize that money laundering and criminal association are only 2 examples. There are currently hundreds of complaint applications on last year's Senate election. As of May 14th, the Election Commission released a statement that the number of petitions stands at 585. Remember, the census were voted in last year, so they had like 1 year, more or less. So many people are wondering what is taking the EC so long to handle the investigations. So in comes the joint committee made up of officials from the Election Commission and the DSI. So this week we saw these news footage of officials sticking court warrants in front of the residences of some senators, summoning them to give statements in court. So you can imagine the intimidation they must have felt. But this is only a prelude to the drama this week.
Now the focus has shifted to this man, Justice Minister Thaksin Shinawatra. Right? This week the Constitutional Court issued an injunction relieve Kun Thavi of the duty to supervise the Department of Special Investigation. So you can see how some or many people are losing faces this week. Right?
I know, right? Like we said, the DSI is investigating a group of senators, so it's obvious that the senators won't take this sitting down. They had the Speaker of the Senate submit a petition on their behalf to the Constitutional Court, basically asking the court to look into the alleged interference over DSI by Justice Minister Thaksin Shinawatra and Defense Minister Pheu Thai. Hence, the court injunction. Now, Bhumjaithai got off the hook, but Thawi didn't.
But as we know, the Thai politics is not that straightforward. So far, our main characters are the senators and Justice Minister Thawi and what happened to them this week. But it's very important not to forget the main storyline of Thai politics, which is going on right now.
Yeah.
That is the power struggle between two political parties. To give you a clear picture, in the red corner we have Pheu Thai, right? The core of the Patchimanon coalition government. And in the blue corner we have the Bhumjaithai party, a major partner in the coalition. And the two parties, of course, we know that they don't see things eye to eye. In many incidents, I mean, they have shown that their dislike toward each other, and the days of their breakup are just waiting to happen.
People are speculating. There are a lot of assumptions that they might not last very long, this partnership. I mean, look at the entertainment complex bills and what's going on in the government. But it is a well-known political assumption in Thailand that many senators are presumed to be affiliated with the Blue House of Bhumjaithai. And on the other hand, Thawi Sawtsong's Pracha Chat Party is seen as being under the favor of the Pheu Thai party. So I guess either you call it red versus blue or the DSI versus the senators. We can roughly say that the parties in this rivalry don't really change.
This is going to be a long running saga, to come, right? Okay. All right, now let's move to the story that has been making headlines for 2 years now, right?
Yeah.
And for 2 years we have been hearing about what is known as the Floor 14 saga, right? It's a reference to the 14th floor of the Police General Hospital that is supposed to be reserved for VIP patients only. And that was where former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra spent 6 months recuperating or allegedly recuperating after medical treatment before being granted a royal pardon and subsequently discharged.
Yeah, it remains a point of contention to these days whether Thaksin was really critically ill enough to deserve that kind of VIP treatment. His daughter, Prime Minister Pathongthan, has been insisting that her father was genuinely ill and even needed a surgery. But critics believe that his stay on floor 14th of the Police General Hospital was merely a ploy to help him escape his prison time. Indeed, Thaksin didn't physically spend a single day behind bars, despite the jail term he got for corruption and abuse of power.
Of course, we have been reporting a lot about the saga. But one thing we haven't been able to do is to show you what the much talk about floor 14 of the police hospital looks like. Right? But finally, is Dr. Warong Dedkit Vikram, who is the leader of Thai PBS, a staunchly loyalist party, has helped us to do our job now. Warong is a well-known political veteran who has been working hard to unmask what he sees as Thaksin's charade, right?
Yeah.
He never believes for a minute that the former Prime Minister was ill. And he's convinced that people within the Patchimanon government, the corrections department and the police hospital colluded to allow Thaksin to avoid serving his jail term by feigning illness.
Yeah, Warong finally believes he has had a chance to prove his point. So he managed to get himself onto the 14th floor of the Police General Hospital recently and made a video clip of his venture there. So in a post on his Facebook page, Warong said that it was just by luck that he visited a patient on floor 14th, which granted him a rare chance to walk around an area normally off limits to outsiders.
And this is very interesting. Kun Warong claimed that he accidentally bumped into former National Police Chief, Police General Seripisut Temijavet, who visited Thaksin twice while the former Prime Minister was still staying there, right?
Accidentally.
And Kun Warong said Seripisut guided him to room 1404, where Thaksin spent his time. And Warong described every room on the floor as being luxurious, right? Comparable to hotel's royal suite. He noted, however, that room 1404 is at the end of a hallway, far from the nurse's station, which he considered unsuitable for a patient with serious ailments to be away from the nurse's station.
Makes sense. In the video, he says patients with grave illnesses need close care, and if their condition worsens, nurses may not reach the room in time to save their lives. He also pointed out that the room in question contains no life-saving equipment and therefore is not suitable for patients with serious conditions.
Kun Warong quoted Seripisut as saying that during the latter's visit to Thaksin the first time, he could not access the floor by himself. On that day, Seripisut said one of Thaksin's aides accompanied him to take an elevator to a different floor, then walk through a fire exit and use the stairs to reach the 14th floor.
Very exclusive.
And throughout the post, Kun Warong referred to Kun Thaksin as prisoner. The term also used consistently by Thaksin's critics. But these people never call Kun Thaksin Mr.
No.
at all. They always describe Thaksin as a prisoner or former prisoner or convict.
It's very intense. So on the second visit, Seripisut said he met Thaksin in room 1404 and was served mango with sticky rice, showing no signs of illnesses. So Seripisut was actually once a supporter of Thaksin, but later turned against him following a political fallout between them.
Pictures and clips posted by Kun Warong show a fully furnished suite with a big bedroom and a spacious living and dining room equipped with a giant TV screen, with views overlooking the greenery of the Royal Bangkok Sports Club.
Yeah, that's a highlight.
So definitely a room with a beautiful view.
Warong's visit to the hospital came a week after the medical council ruled that there was no empirical evidence to prove there was a critical situation that could justify Thaksin being sent to the hospital for treatment. 3 doctors were ordered to be penalized by the board. 1 was given a warning and 2 had their medical licenses temporarily suspended.
And the ruling has been sent to Public Health Minister Kun Somsak Thepsutin, who also served as the honorary president of the Medical Council, and who will decide whether or not to endorse or reject the ruling by the Medical Council. This is very interesting. If Somsak goes along with the ruling, then the ruling will take effect. The 3 doctors will be disciplined, right, as recommended.
Yes.
But if Somsak rejects the ruling, the issue has to come back to the Medical Council, which would need an overwhelming majority to confirm the initial ruling. But it would be quite a challenge for Somsak to deal with this matter.
So the pressure is on one man.
At least at the end of the day, we hope that this misery that has bing haunting us for 2 years will be resolved.
It's a nice hotel room. Looks very good. Well, I guess that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.